You Don't is the third film now in this 12-year franchise, but the first film since 2016. Third new director of the franchise, Ruben Fleischer, takes over in the director's chair. He directed films like Uncharted, Venom, and the two Zombieland movies. Back from the original films are our four horsemen: J. Daniel Atlas, played by Jesse Eisenberg; Merritt, played by Woody Harrelson; Jack Wilder, played by Dave Franco; and Henley Reeves, played by Isla Fisher, are instructed to bring in a new group of illusionists and magicians when you have Bosco, played by Dominic Sessa; Justice Smith as Charlie; and June, played by Ariana Greenblatt, in order to get a huge diamond heist over a very wealthy family, the Vanderbergs, who is led by Veronica, played in this film by Rosamund Pike. Also back from the original films is Morgan Freeman as Thaddeus Bradley, also trying to help out the Horsemen get this heist. The film is an hour and 53 minutes and is PG-13. My name is Max Enberg, everyone. Welcome back to Max Talks Movies for a brand new movie review. So if you guys are new, please hit that subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications. I talk movies, TV shows, and all things entertainment. So if you like any one of those things, this is the channel for you. Hit that subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications. Comment down below, guys. What are your thoughts on the Now You See Me franchise? Don't reveal your ranking. I'm doing a video very soon about my ranking of the movies. But did you like this one? Did you not like it? Are you a fan of this franchise? Do you want to see a fourth entry into the franchise? Let me know down in that comment section down below. And also, guys, please hit that thumbs up button. So I grew up watching the Now You See Me movies. They are movies that, do I think they're great movies? No. But do I think that they're a perfect turn off your brain, have a good time watch? Yes. I watched both movies in theaters growing up. So I have a lot of nostalgia for the original two Now You See Me movies. And so I was very excited for them to run this thing back 9 years later with Now You See Me, Now You Don't. And overall, I'll say this right away. If you are a fan of the Now You See Me films, you will have a good time watching this movie. If you are someone who did not have a good time watching the first two Now You See Me movies, I'm not sure Now You See Me, Now You Don't is going to change your mind, because this movie fits in perfectly with the other two films in the franchise, meaning that this is just a good time in the movie theater. I am not someone who usually watches stuff with magicians, but for me, the blend of magic, illusions, mixing some like cool action sequences and large fancy locations always drew me to this franchise, and this movie fits right in with that. What always has set this franchise apart is this really amazing ensemble. It really never gets old how many people are truly in these movies, and it's great to see the original Horseman with Isla Fisher, who did not come back for the second film, but is back here for this third film. She fits right back in with the original Horseman, and the four of them just have amazing chemistry with each other. Obviously, we know Eisenberg and Harrelson reuniting with Ruben Fleischer after the two Zombieland movies makes a lot of sense that he would come to direct this film. And the four of them just have, as always, great chemistry, funny banter. Atlas remains the lead of this franchise with Jesse Eisenberg, who's always good in these movies. But I just love bringing back the Horsemen back together. But what's crucial in making this movie somewhat work is the inclusion of the new magicians with Dominic Sessa, Ariana Greenblatt, and Justice Smith. I think for the most part, they do work. Sessa in particular fits in this franchise like a glove. He's very similar to Jesse Eisenberg in his character and his acting style. And I think that's probably a reason why they casted Sessa for this movie. But the new blood and the old blood have great chemistry, work off each other very well. There's an amazing sequence in France in this old time house, and it gives all of our magicians a chance to shine and show off to each other. Thought it was a really phenomenal sequence. There's also an amazing multiple sequences in that house. Really, this house in France is the best part of the movie, where there are different illusion sequences. If the rooms are being flipped around, the mirror scene, there's some really cool and unique ways of the magic being used in this movie, not just for action sequences, but just for magic sake. I always love the score from Brian Tyler. And I also just love, I think Rosamund Pike is perfectly over the top and cartoonish in this movie. She knows exactly what movie she's in, and you can also just tell sometimes it's a good time to know that clearly the ensemble here loves making these movies. I think it's always why I always like these movies is you can just tell these actors are having a blast and it makes the audience as well, in my opinion, have a great time as well. But I always have a good time with these three movies. I also had a good time with this one. Now again, do these movies make any logical sense? No. Are these movies, just like this one, very convoluted? Yes. I do think from like my biggest issue with the movie is in the third act, I think the horsemen themselves don't have as much to do as I was hoping for. They lean a lot more into the young magicians towards the third act of the movie as it pertains to the plot. And the horsemen kind of just felt like they were there in the background in the last 20 minutes of the movie. I wish the horsemen had more to do with the resolution of the movie. I will just say that. I think they're kind of just there. And I think them being more of a factor for the third act, I think would have made this movie one of my, if not my favorite of the franchise, but it's not because I think the Horsemen could have done so much more plot wise towards the third act of the movie. And yes, you do have to suspend your belief too many times in this movie. Especially, I do think this franchise, in my opinion, sometimes over explains the trick. And I know that's the bit, especially towards the third act of the movie, where this big trick happens and the actors need to, explain what happens. I sometimes do believe that they over-explain it. I think out of the entire franchise, this movie over-explains the most as pertains to the trick. But overall, I just have a blast with this movie. It doesn't make any sense. It's convoluted. It's ridiculous. It's a cartoon sometimes. But for me, I just love this ensemble so much. I love blending in magic with some action scenes. It's just a jolly all good time in the movie theater. So overall, I'm giving Now You See Me, Now You Don't a 3.5 out of 5, a 67%. What are your thoughts on this movie, guys? Let me know down in the comments. Like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you guys in another video very soon.